Hey guys, it is 2.5 years on T, and thought I'd go over some changes, some things that's been going on with me. Excuse me, that kind of plays an important role of what I've been going through. So let's just start with changes. First of all, I want to say this. I know a lot of guys get into a year, 2 years on T, and they quit making videos maybe once every 6 months or so. And life has its challenges, and you have your schedules, and a lot of people are just starting out in life and in their careers and finishing schooling and all that stuff. But one thing I want you to understand is that even though you may not think that by saying there hasn't been that much changes, every day we change. It may be a minute little thing, but every day in our life on this new journey, there is something that comes into play regarding our transition, whether it's physical changes, whether it's emotional changes, whether it's psychological changes, whether it's sexual orientation, anything can happen. So when you got guys who are hungry to listen to your videos and to see what's going to happen down the road by watching us guys who've been on testosterone for a while, every little minute piece of information can be something for them to take that is important to them. It could answer a question. It could help someone decide what they're going to do. So I think that if you have the time, don't think that more hair is not important. It is. Because one thing about us transitioning, is that puberty doesn't just stop in a year or two. Changes keep going until you mature into that physical person. And that can take up to the age of 25, 27 for a lot of guys. So you've got 10 years or so in there that you are changing, and people around you don't see that so much until they look at a picture of you 5 years ago and they go, oh my God, look at, you've changed. So that little tidbit of hair might mean something to someone else. So I encourage you, for those who don't think their videos are that important anymore, or that they don't have anything important to talk about the couple hairs you got, a couple more hairs you got. It's, if you remember, we're all blood hungry for information regarding transition. So with that being said, I'm going to go into hair. I have got hair, I know you won't be able to see it, but I've got hair in the part of the arm that hardly anybody, well, I shouldn't say hardly anybody, but I haven't noticed a whole lot of people saying they got it. Now I'll tell you, I've got a lot of hair, but when you look at it, I don't look like I have a lot of hair. But if you were to look down on my arm, I'm not going to show it, you can see all this hair. It's the same thing with my chest. When I look in the mirror at my chest and belly, it doesn't look like there's a lot of hair there. But when I look down, it's thick, and I have a lot of hair. And so those little things, I mean, right in here I have a lot of hair, and you can really tell when I get my arm wet. My hand is starting to get a lot more hair. It has been, but it's still continuing to get more hair. My eyebrows, I used to talk about my eyebrows and worry about my eyebrows. You can't see it probably, but it's all filling in here. I mean, it doesn't look as I don't even know how to say it, like I've plucked them or anything, as bad as it did pre-T. Now, face, and I am 2 days out of a shave, and to keep the clean and neat style tomorrow, I probably will need to shave. I got me a new Norelco trimmer, electric razor, all in one. There's 7 pieces all in one. Hair trimmer, all that stuff. And so I was trying the parts, and I was trying to just cut the chin beard down some because it was getting really thick. And I went the wrong way on it, and I nicked a hole. I nicked it in, and I had to shave it down. So I didn't shave it off, but I did shave it down, and it's starting to come back again. I have hair on my chin, and it's going up here. Now if I get close in the, I'm looking at myself, I'm not looking at you. If I get close in the mirror, you can see it really nice. My soul patch hair is thick, but it's blonde. And so, I don't know if you guys can see that. My sideburns, I got a haircut yesterday. As you can see, it's kind of flat on my head. I went for a ride last night. But she kind of shaves it down with my sides. So I'm going to let them grow out probably a little bit thicker down here like I did in the beginning. I don't know for sure. But I do have hair up here, and I do have a little bald spot still right in here. I saw another guy, a cis guy, who had a little bald spot here, and he's letting his hair all grow in. I think beards are in right now. I won't carry a beard. That's just my own. That's my own opinion. I don't care for the full beards on me. Of course, I haven't had one, but I guess maybe I won't. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it in the fall and see how I like it, but I won't let it get real hairy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The dirty look or half-shaven look looks good. I like that, but we'll see. We'll see what goes on. Mustache. I do see more black hair. There is a shadow, but it's still, it would be like my soul patch here, where you guys can't see it. And so I'm just going to keep shaving it off until I feel comfortable. That can take a while. It may never happen. It's okay. My hair's kind of flat. We went for a full moon ride last night on our horses. There was 4 of us. My brother-in-law, my niece, Tony, and I. It was really nice. So, other changes. Okay. So I talked a while back regarding depression and how I was feeling and stuff, and thinking I was in a depression. I went back to counseling. They said that it was very mild, but they believe it's a course of things that has piled up on me. For example, getting deathly sick like I did with valley fever for that year, trying to recuperate for the second year, having to put my horse down in that second year, dealing with my feet and the increased pain, things like that that's happened over a course of time that just seems to, sometimes life just does that. Things go really well for a while, and then it seems like when things start turning sour for a while, it's one after another. I think it's just a challenge of our strength, our faith. But I was feeling really unbalanced, and after the counselor told me that she thought maybe it was just a very minor depression, I was driving home, and I saw this little dog run towards me on the opposite lane, and just missed a car and ran into this neighborhood. And then I saw this gardener guy on foot kind of running towards the dog, and I thought, well, maybe they hit the little dog and it got up and took off running. There was a split second, because I am very sensitive to animal cruelty. It's very hard for me. A split second that I just wanted to break down and cry and say, I can't do this anymore. I can't. This sensitivity, it's getting to me. It's making me so vulnerable. And it was dry. Just for that split second, I said, I can't do this anymore. I went back to my therapist, and she's like, wow, I wonder what's really going on, because, talking with you, it's a minor. I got to thinking about that, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to have my hormones checked. And so I contacted my endo. I have an annual meeting with her in July. So it was just about time for some more lab work. So I asked her to draw T, E, and anything else she can think of that would make my hormones imbalanced. So we got the results, and I have, my T levels are 833. It's where I want them to be. It's where I've always wanted them to be. But I've got testosterone converting into estrogen. My level is 68. Pre-T, it was less than 15. So I have more estrogen running through my body right now than I have in years. And I'm telling you, I noticed that my fat was redistributing back into my hips, back into my butt. I have a spinal cord stimulator implant, and the battery box is in my right hip. And when the fat started redistributing up into my gut, the fat on my butt all went up into my gut, and you could feel that box without any fat around it. And now I have some fat around it. So that was another reason why I asked her to check my hormones, because my fat was doing weird things. And sure enough, isn't it amazing what hormones will do? That's probably what I have been feeling for the last 2 or 3 months. My testosterone finally has started, my body finally has started to absorb it, probably in the last 6 months, I'd say. When I was sick, I was on a medication that, one thing made me go bald all over except for my head. I lost all my body hair. But number 2, I wasn't absorbing the T when I got sick. So I blame that kind of on why I got so deathly sick. So I'm thinking, and this is my theory, I'll talk to her on the 9th of July, but I'm thinking that my body finally started absorbing the T like it should. And so I'm on 100 milligrams a week. I was just getting too much. And so we did adjust that. I'm on 75 a week now. She'll do labs in 3 months, and we'll see where the E levels are then. But I'll tell you what, just to know that estrogen's in my veins is just, it's just, But it does help me. It gives me peace of mind that I know I'm not going crazy, and I understand now why I wasn't really having mood swings. I was just so really overly sensitive. And I still have it, so the estrogen's not gone, but it's not as bad. And like I said, it gave me peace of mind, and you would be amazed at what your body and what your psychic can do when you understand something and it's screwing you up, how it can deal with it in a more balanced way instead of throwing you off and on in this battle. So that was something that's going on with me. I'm still working with my voice. It still will pitch up high when I'm trying to project it. I really haven't played around with it. I'm talking right now just calmly, and I kind of think maybe my voice has gotten a little higher, but maybe not. It just could be me now that I know I got E in my veins, and I'm thinking, oh God, all the bad changes right now is because of the estrogen. But that's the changes that I've had. I'm sure I've got more muscle strength, but here's one thing I need to report too, is I told you I've had increased foot pain, and I haven't been as active as I usually am. So I went back to my foot doctor, and we discussed my pain level. He upped one of the medications I have to sleep, because I have not been sleeping good at all for the last 2 weeks. And I told him when I got in the pool for the first time that I'm always in orthotics. Even in my slippers, I have orthotics. I don't go barefooted at all. Well, in the pool I do. So it felt like my right foot was just pounding against that plaster, and that my bones were just hitting it. He did an x-ray, and I have a fractured right foot. Yeah. I fractured it probably 2.5 years ago, and I was in a walking boot, and then I got sick and I wasn't active. And then when I was active, I played the pain off as because I haven't been active. And it's where the old fracture was, but it's worse. And he said the only thing that he can do for it is surgery. So I'm waiting. I'm not going to go rush into surgery. Tony's got vacation. We planned on doing a few day trips. I can't drive without my right foot. I don't want to be on drugs and stuff, trying to enjoy the day and have a cast or whatever he's going to put on my foot afterwards. So I've dealt with the pain this long. I'm going to push it another month. And then I'll have surgery just before she goes back to work. And that way I can recoup and she's back to work and all that can go on. So, when it rains, it pours, but you just got to keep pushing forward, Don't get down and be a bah humbug and feel like a victim. Even in my depression, I didn't feel like a victim, and I still don't feel like a victim. I will never be a victim. I may be a victim of some things, but I will never play a victim. It's just not in me. So I keep pushing forward just like I will, and I'm still working on my weight, still checking out juicing, I'm still checking out raw food. Okay, so I got caught off at the John Gabriel method, and I've shown the book on a couple of my videos. He's got a really, really, really good theory that he implemented in his own life to lose weight. It's not a diet. It's changing your body from thinking it needs to survive and protect itself by keeping it heavier, than to be safe and feel safe to where you don't have to keep on the excess weight to where you'll lose it. And the one thing I admire about his theory, because in my life, what he says is true. Because we do things happen to us in our life, and it's the emotion, the emotional person in us that keeps us either flight or fight. And when we have to stand up and fight, our bodies put on weight to make us bigger, to make us more powerful looking. And when we have to fly, our bodies keep us trim so that we have speed. And that's just all predestined in us from earlier days. And so his theory is to switch that mind back into saying that you're safe. As you go through his program, your emotions come out without having one-on-one contact with him. It's through visualization. It's through implementing tapping. If you haven't heard of that, EFT, look it up. It's almost like acupuncture, but there's no needles. You use your hand. You tap certain areas on your body that they would do acupuncture on. But visualization also helps your mind to go to sleep and think a certain way and wake up and keep that thought process going. And what happens is that things come out of people that have been buried years ago, or resolution comes to them. Oh, that's why this is happening. It's just like my hormones. There for a while I thought I was going insane. I mean, really, I thought I was slipping away, and it was just all about hormones. So this theory, he was over 400 pounds, and he is down under 200 pounds now. I think he's about 180 or 220, 180 to 220, I can't remember, but he's like over 6 foot. And he did it all without dieting. He adds food to your daily intake. And so check him out, the John Gabriel method, and John is Jon. So it's worth it. It has all kinds of things on it. But anyway, where I was going with that was I'm still looking into that, still getting myself, now that I know what's going on. I just found out this past week about my hormones, found out this week about my foot. But Tony and I have implemented juicing. We started juicing last week. It's not going to be everything we do. We're still going to eat and stuff, but I just want to know my body's getting the nutrients it needs. And sometimes you can't eat enough vegetables for all the nutrients that you need. So juicing is really a good way of doing things. But that's what's going on with me. I've explained the changes. We're still changing my body. I really am expecting a year from now to have a big change in my body. You'll see the effects of feeling better in my psychic and the way I speak and the way I react to things. I will continue journalizing my journey, because guess what? No one else is going to do it, and if I can just help, well, I shouldn't say no one else is going to do it. No one else but me can do mine. And if I can help just one person, I'm paying it forward. So all of you take it one day at a time. Always make your journey as simple as possible. God bless, and we'll see you later. Bye.